Hello, and welcome to episode 47 of Things I Learned from Barry Harris. Today I thought we would talk about 1625 in minor. Since episode 46 was about major, I thought we would talk about it in minor. So 1625 in minor is slightly different than major. The first chord is still going to be a minor chord, but it's a minor 6 chord. And let's stay in the same key, let's say G. So we'll say G minor 6 is the first chord. The sixth chord is E minor 7 flat 5. The 2 chord is A minor 7 flat 5. And the 5 chord is still D7. So the 2 scalar chords that Barry thinks of, just for the first couple of changes, for G minor 6 to E minor 7 flat 5, is the same scale of chords. It's G minor 6 diminished. So one thing you have to know is your G minor 6 diminished in drop 2s. Again, drop 2 is 4 consecutive strings, basically. You have to know them in drop 3s. You have to know them in drop 2, drop 4. Which is play 2 strings, skip a string, and play 2 more strings. So drop 2 is play 4 consecutive strings. Drop 3 is play a string, skip a string, play 3 consecutive strings. Drop 2, drop 4 is play 2 strings, skip a string, then play 2 more strings. So all those already give you quite a few options to play. The next thing you have to know is you have to know smaller things, just like maybe the scale in thirds. You have to know your scale in sixths, let's say. You have to know your scale in tenths, which is also pretty. You have to know your scale in... Oh, another nice thing that you could do with your scale is to play it in contrary motion. So you start, let's say, on this G, and you're going to go down. So I went down the scale. But I'm also going to start on this note and go up the scale. Now if we put those together, it's going to sound like this. Now, all those things that we did for G minor 6, we also have to know for C minor 6, because the C minor 6 diminished is going to cover the A minor 7 flat 5. So, same idea. So here's A minor 7 flat 5, diminished. This is in drop 2. In drop 3. In drop 2, drop 4. Let's see. Drop 4. In thirds. In sixths. In tenths. So now all these ideas, the same thing with contrary motion. So all those little things. So keeping that in mind, the G minor 6 diminished covers the first two chords, and the C minor 6 is going to cover the A minor 7 flat 5. And then, as I said in the last episode, what we can play for D7 is varied. We can play just a regular D7, a D7 with a flat 5. We could play a half step above that, E flat minor 6 diminished. We can also play A minor 6, which I wouldn't necessarily use there. I would probably just use the E flat minor 6. I wouldn't use the A minor 6 for that one. I don't like the sound of going from this to this, going to the minor. And Barry doesn't either, very rarely. I don't like this, the regular 9 going to the minor 6. Barry doesn't either. So let's just do a few things maybe to work on just different ways to approach it. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's one way to maybe play it, just using drop 2. Then maybe let's use drop 3. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Those were nice also, using drop 3. How about if we just use, maybe let's use sixths. So let's start off with, let's see. Those are nice too. Maybe let's use the contrary motion thing. So let's say 2, 3. Last chord I ended on there was E flat minor 6. It's a nice way to play that. Let's start up a little bit higher. So let's say drop 3. All those different ways. That was using primarily drop 3s. But you see, again, it's endless. It's endless. A nice way to look at it, though, is, also, one thing that Barry does sometimes is, since A minor 7 flat 5, Barry sees it as C minor 6. He thinks sometimes just C minor. So he'll play things on the C minor arpeggio. So let's try something like that. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that wasn't quite the minor 6, but the minor, that was a half step below each minor note, which he does a lot, which I love the sound of that. So A minor 7 flat 5, the important minor 6 that you have to know is C minor 6. So if you shorten it to just C minor, you can play C minor arpeggio, or Barry likes to put, which is commonly done, but Barry puts a half step below each note. So let's try to do that. Let's try to do just the minor without doing the half step below. 2, 3, 4. half step below. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Also pretty too, without me messing it up. So you see, again, limitless, completely infinite amount of ways you could play these, knowing those two scale of chords. Now, a few times I played just regular D7, a few times I played D augmented, sometimes I played E flat minor 6, but you see, just messing around with those, and obviously some of those I've played before, but like the other ones, most of them I haven't. That's why I'm kind of messing up through them. But you get the idea. The gist of it is, if you really learn those scales, you'll be able to play all these different things at the drop of a hat, which is really the point. I think Barry's scale of chords, the most important things, the thing that they do is that they allow you to improvise immediately with your chords. In the same way that you improvising single notes, you can start to improvise with chords, which is really special. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that lesson. Ways to play 1-6-2-5 in minor. And keep leaving the comments below. I'm really enjoying this. Okay, until next time. Thanks.